Hi, listeners. Welcome to another HRO Today Educational Podcast. In this series, we aim to provide you the latest workforce management approaches and best practices in HR. I'm Debbie Bolla, Senior Vice President and Editorial Director of HRO Today. Technology has been a real game changer in the relocation space. From streamlining and automating administrative tasks to providing crucial support for transferees, today's platforms can both standardize and scale customized experiences. So how can HR and relocation leaders get the most from tech? Luckily, I have two experts from CapRelo here with me today to answer this question and more. CapRelo is a full-service global mobility management company that provides support and solutions to companies around the globe. As SVP of Global Client Services, Angela is responsible for leading the international team supporting and developing client mobility programs, ensuring excellence in the design, execution, and continuous improvement of both global and domestic relocation and assignment services. As the keeper of CapRelo technology, Wesam Sarsour evaluates, architects, designs, and implements business systems supporting CapRelo employees and their clients. Wesam and Angela, thanks so much for joining me today. Now more than ever, organizations are looking for efficiencies in everything they do. What are some recent advances in relocation management technology, and how can HR leverage it to standardize and scale customized transferee experiences?
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Very happy to be here. The relocation management industry continues to increase its demand for technology, driven by the need for increased efficiency, cost reduction, improved customer experience, and enhanced data security. The recent advancements can be grouped within three categories: artificial intelligence and machine learning, virtual and augmented reality, and mobile-first solutions, along with cloud-based platforms. So for AI and machine learning, there's power with the predictive analytics, personalized recommendations, automated processes, AI-powered chatbots, and virtual surveys. Virtual reality technology allows employees to explore homes, offices, and even neighborhoods through virtual tours. Augmented reality applications help with visualizations and planning, such as measuring and visualizing how furniture and belongings fit into new space. Mobile solutions and cloud-based platforms provide convenient access, real-time tracking, and centralized information management. We included these key technologies when designing Companion Flex, our client-facing mobile app and platform. Hosted in Microsoft Azure and utilizing cloud services, Companion Flex provides tools for transparency for our clients, along with client participation and governance, which essentially enhances accountability on our servicing teams. Utilizing cloud-based services along with AI and virtual capabilities with Companion Flex ultimately allows us to deliver a high-touch service with a low-touch experience. Angela, what are your thoughts around this?
Well, the evolution in the tech space has definitely been swift, and it's happening on all fronts. The client space, the assignee, and the transferee space, our internal service model space, and then the overarching program and benefit space, which is where you're seeing the tech offering in a wide variety of varied types and scalable and flexible benefit administration. Technology definitely means that programs are very diverse right now. So I think at one point, if we look back even a few years, there were very structured policies compared to what we see now. Folks counseling to the policies could rely on a much more consistent program when they were helping the assignees. Now we're seeing things like core, no flex, flex, no core, core and flex, a mix of both depending on type. They may be capped, they may not be capped. They may be capped by points, they may be capped by currency. Programs may include a mix of both. They may be varied in their caps. They may be negotiated by move. They may be changing those caps mid-move. And so the tech has to be flexible to that. It has to be scalable in the space, and in the previous world, that would have been extremely manual. It would have been riddled with risk, and it wouldn't have been as possible as it is now. Technology has allowed for all of those options to exist. What happens in turn is that we also have to provide the technology to the consultants and to global assignment managers to be set up for success so that they can also support all of those programs programs as well. So on the other side, we've made changes, not just to the technology that supports the clients and the transferring assignees and employees, but also to our internal teams to ensure that they have what they need to support the varied programs that we are supporting in our client space, and ensuring that they can have the appropriate cues and tools and technology to manage to all of the varied programs that we are offering out.
You both mentioned a lot of different technologies available, and it's amazing to hear how it's transforming the industry. So in what ways can automation help maintain consistent relocation policies? And what role does it play in accommodating employee requests to improve the overall experience?
Yeah, automation plays a crucial role in ensuring consistency across various aspects of policy management. Automation minimizes the risk of error by standardizing tasks and reducing the reliance on manual input. Automation also streamlines repetitive tasks like policy updates, distribution, and renewals, ensuring access to the latest guidelines. Automation facilitates regular audits and compliance checks, creating detailed audit trails that simplify the process of demonstrating adherence to regulatory requirements. And automation centralizes policy into a single platform, eliminating confusion and ensuring access to the most up-to-date versions, promoting consistency across the board. We ultimately use automation with our clients' business models, with our service delivery model, and use technology to facilitate that process. So, in other words, we align what the client is doing with what we're doing, and then leverage our technical solutions to make sure that all of that flows accordingly and the process is consistent, fluid, flexible, and scalable. Angela, what are your thoughts on the role automation plays in accommodating the employee experience?
Well, automation is definitely allowing for more consistency across the globe, and that's probably one of the most exciting things that it's offering. Specifically, I know that our Companion Flex technology and the progress that it's making for our service delivery with multi-currency options, multi-language options, varied pricing options, varied service model options is allowing our clients to provide a customized, configured experience, but it's allowing them to keep the essence of the program and that employee transferee assignee experience consistent across the board. So they can maintain a cultural experience for their assignees and for their transferees, but they can customize to what makes sense based on their regions, based on their locations, because ultimately that was the challenge for most of these clients, to ask their local regions, to ask their local HRs to adjust their programs to whatever headquarters was operating within was a big ask. But now the technology is allowing them to not force a square peg into a round hole, but instead to allow them to maintain certain elements of what existed within their current program, but to keep the culture in place and continue to have their currencies, their languages, their service models in place, but to potentially do that within what is intended for that company's program. So if they have a Core Flex model, if they have a managed cap model, to continue to do that, but to do that within the confines of whatever makes sense for that particular location. So that flexibility has really driven a big growth in the space of allowing consistency, but scalability. On a different note, I would say automation is also letting the clients verify their own consistency of application of their programs, which has been really nice because ultimately it gets really hard to administer a program when you have users and administrators all over the globe and you're sitting in one location. Technology is allowing them through their relocation management company's tools to report on the behaviors. So we can tell them who is approving what, who is managing to what, how those tools are being used, and that allows them to manage costs. When they are looking at certain expenses, we can tell them where that money is going, and we can tell them where those opportunities are, and we can build in controls to allow them to mitigate to that. For example, when we were looking at opportunities for cost controls for certain clients, we were able to help them to look to where they could control those spend opportunities through technological reductions, and also to report where certain spend was occurring so that they could internally address some of those pieces. And then when they put rules into place, we could report those pieces back to them internally so that they understood whether or not some of those intents were being followed and address those accordingly. So the reporting that can be provided to them through the behaviors that are being tracked in the technology tools are also allowing them to control the spend, which is a really nice advance that your technology is helping to provide.
Those are some great points. So what best practices do you recommend for aligning policy guidelines with individual flexibility? And I was wondering if you had any examples to share.
It's an interesting question. So automation definitely allows us to create policies as the client wants them. So our Companion Flex service cards have various automated filter options, and that allows us to provide specific benefits to the people that they want to provide them to. As an example, a specific client that had a certain benefit that they wanted to provide to only a particular group of individuals, and in creating a benefit filter application that automated the controls of who received what and controlled the pricing on that benefit, we were able to reduce their exceptions by almost 1% just by technical control. The pricing elements can also be adjusted, so that allows you to control, even by regions within a country, your pricing so that you can ensure that your spend for certain benefits is adjusted. And so that also helped us to reduce spend, because in this economic time, we have a number of clients that are looking to make sure that not a penny is spent beyond what they need. Every dollar counts right now, and if we can report a cost savings, that's a big win. Another client had varied caps and was worried that the experience was going to be different because the varied caps existed. They moved them onto the technology because previous to that, they were just receiving lump sums, and those folks were spending those lump sums at will. Now they're on the technology, and they have the opportunity to use that technology to purchase benefits. And they have the combined experience of the technology and the CapRelo consultant and assignment manager support. With that, they're able to have similar experiences. They can select from similar options to purchase. They have the same area information. They have the same AI support. And so it's a more consistent experience for the employee, even though there's a scaled adjustment to budgets.
Yeah, and to add to that, in terms of the infrastructure or the actual frameworks that's generating that level of technology to support this process is highly customized. So what that really means is more of a personalized feel to that, and how you get that personalized experience within the technology that's being provided to the end user in this space is customization through configuration, right? And in order for you to have that type of experience available, reducing the additional coding aspects of things and that high or heavy customized lift on the back end is putting together the infrastructure and frameworks, behind the front-end technology to support that. And that, again, provides that personalized effect through configuration rather than customizing an experience as you go along. So again, it allows us to go through a speedy implementation process, allows us to remain flexible, scalable, and ultimately has a positive effect on the end user experience. And putting all of that together allows us to continue with the alignment of the policy guidelines to support our clients' needs and also, provide the ultimate experience for the employees that are receiving those benefits through that policy.
I will say, as an aside, it is absolutely a win every time we see an exception savings of $400,000 because we made a technological advance and we were able to control costs as a result. But the ultimate win is when we're building the technology and it was the result of a partnership and a collaboration. And this is an interesting economic time. Everyone is looking to work smarter and do more with less, and we all want better experience at the same time. And that is really tough to accomplish, and tech is probably the best way we're going to accomplish that. So Moxie was a huge win for us. This client portal AI dynamic summary assistant is going to be another. As we designed that, we quickly realized building a report that was one size fits all is not going to work, and it really shouldn't. And so we looked to design something that was going to be more of a natural language model. And that's been an amazing win. A human being is not capable of doing what that new AI model can do. And that's where AI is supposed to be solving for problems. It's doing something that this human is not capable of doing. In the past, we'd have clients ask for a report, and it would take 30 to 60 minutes for a human being to digest 12 pages of notes from an 8-month move or assignment. the technology can summarize these massive quantities of data with a speed that a person just can't do it. But it's the same controlled data that the human would have been referencing, so we're not losing any accuracy. We're just gaining a ton of time, and we're making it a lot easier for the client. Wesam, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, you covered a lot of that. It really comes down to our ability to deliver a high-touch service with that low-touch experience. At the end of the day, we're dealing with different user base, different age groups, different genders, different preferences, different lifestyle services. So we absolutely need to provide a system and an experience that allows them to go through that experience through their preferred method. And, having the infrastructure in place to support that, having the features and capabilities along with that user experience on the front end allows us to deliver, again, that high-touch service, because service is most important. Priority is making sure that the transferring employee and assignees are being taken care of, along with that low-touch experience that technology provides.
And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I invite everyone to visit our website at CapRelo.com and explore our tech-enabled solutions. That's also where you can sign up for Lunch and Learns if you want to hear a bit more. And with that, thank you, Debbie. Wesam and I have really enjoyed this opportunity to chat with you today about two of our favorite topics, global mobility and technology.
Well, Wesam and Angela, you've given us a lot to think about today. Until next time, listeners, I'm Debbie Bolla.